What's going on, everybody? It's me, Tim, and in this video I'm going to look at Chargepoint. We're also going to glance at Cleanspark. I'm going to give you some potential price targets, give you my thoughts on the moves we've been making lately. We're also going to look at the overall market, see TradingView's heat map, see what's going on today, and I'm also going to show you Bitcoin for a brief second. Now, if you don't mind hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, definitely appreciate it. And I put out daily videos. Now, first off, let's look at TradingView's heat map and see what the market's doing. Now, we have a very green day, and small caps are the same thing. We've got a lot of small caps up as much as 5, even 10%. But you know, it's very nice on a Friday to see that we are nice and green. We don't see a pullback heading into the weekend. Seems like we're getting a little more and more risk on as we go. And looking at Bitcoin, it has been continuing to push higher. We literally recently just broke a new high, and this was on August 11th, so yesterday. But as I've said before, guys, you're definitely going to want to watch, because by the middle of September, Bitcoin could potentially break out of this downtrend. We could have a downtrend reversal, or we find resistance here and we start pushing down, break this yellow line here, which is an ascending support. Break that, maybe even test 20, maybe even test the 17,000 area. So you're going to definitely want to watch Bitcoin coming up towards September, roughly around mid-September, might even break out sooner if we do really start pushing. But I'm curious, guys, where do you think Bitcoin's going in the next couple of months? Are we more likely to head down and retrace some levels, or are we likely to break out and continue pushing towards 30,000? Let me know in the comments below what direction you think Bitcoin's going to take. All right, now let's give Chargepoint a look. I'm going to give you some thoughts there. I have an important thing to show you here on the chart, big deal in my opinion. And we're also going to look at Cleanspark. Now, first off, each candle here represents a day. Now, one thing I want to show you is in December 2020, this hit its peak. Since then, it's been downtrending. It's been stuck with this red line as a resistance in this downtrend. We just broke out of it. We just had our downtrend reversal. Will it continue? Partly depends on the market, partly depends on where EVs are going. And you know, on the shorter term time frames, we are definitely becoming quite overbought. So it's very possible we start pulling back, maybe even writing $16 as a new support. Very likely we start using 16 as a support. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. It's impossible keeping them quiet sometimes. But you know, I think it's no coincidence that as this broke out of it, it just started popping very nicely. Now, one thing with Chargepoint you want to watch out for is I want to personally see this break $20. Because that was a previous very strong support until we broke it. I personally think it's going to become a hard resistance to pass. I could be wrong, but I do think once we break out at 20, that would be a great breakout trade, and it will definitely push farther if it does break 20. Now, I believe Chargepoint just revised that their earnings is going to be August 30. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn I just saw that. Now, looking at their earnings, they're expecting their revenue to be around $103 million. That is a huge increase. Last one was 81 million. The one before that was 80. And the one before that, 65, 56, 40, and so on. You'll see that Chargepoint has had insane revenue growth. And I've been watching this one very intently over the last probably 3 or 4 quarters. To me, every time the earnings call comes out, great things happen with this stock. They're talking about their acquisition of companies in Europe, their expansion into Europe, talking about recent deals in America that they're making with auto manufacturers. I mean, Chargepoint, I think, is the company to get in if you're going to look for an EV charger personally. So they are still expecting a negative EPS, so that might cause some hesitancy with Wall Street. Now, what I really want to see is, I'm okay if they don't hit this right on the dot. I would love to see them crack that $100 million. But in reality, for their last revenue to be reported at 81, as long as we see an increase in revenue, I'm happy with Chargepoint. Especially during this hard macroeconomic time. You know, to see companies like Indy, for example, doing great during these times, that gives me a lot more confidence. To see a company doing good when we're dealing with all these macroeconomic headwinds, I think that's very big. I think that's very important to see these companies doing very well during these times. And I think that tells you a lot of how they're going to do when we get out of this macro environment. Now, I also really briefly wanted to show you guys Cleanspark, and I will leave you guys a link down below so you can listen to their earnings call. It just came out the other day, and while numbers didn't seem that great, you know, they reported literally 31 million in revenue, is expected to be 34. Their EPS was definitely off as well. However, listening to the earnings call tells you a lot of great things. First off, on the day of their earnings call, before the earnings, they actually gave out news that they were going to be acquiring a facility that's already Bitcoin mining ready. It's already got S19s in there ready to go. So this next mining update, we might see a huge increase in Bitcoin production. They've also got their move into Lancium going into Texas. By end of 2023, they expect to be somewhere around 20 something exahash, 22 exahash. I mean, I remember when they were saying they're going to be right around 2 to 3 exahash by end of this year. And I think they're personally on track to get anywhere from 4 to 5 exahash by the end of this year. For me, Cleanspark continues to impress, continues to grow their exahash, continues to mine more Bitcoin. Of course, while Bitcoin's downtrending, of course, while Bitcoin's falling, their revenues are going to suffer a little bit. The earnings aren't going to come in as we hope. However, I see the long-term vision for Cleanspark, and in my eyes, in time, this is easily going to be a $20 stock. But patience will be vital. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this short video. What are your favorite stocks out there? Let me know in the comments below. Are you watching Chargepoint? Are you watching Cleanspark? For Chargepoint, I would like to start trimming profits if we do pop over $20. And with Cleanspark, we're at a point where I wouldn't even consider selling, not at least until over 15. But that's just my personal opinion. Now let me know in the comments below where you guys think Chargepoint and Cleanspark are going, and heck, where's the overall market going in the next month, couple months. Thanks so much for watching guys, and take it easy.